Right, we're going to start by coming to sitting. Hands on knees. Press the sitting bones down into the floor and let the spine rise up from the foundation of the pelvis. Let the breath move into the nose, so you're breathing in and out through the nose. Tuck the chin gently under. Let the eyelids drop. Dropping into an Ujjayi breath, where you can feel the breath moving through the throat. And as the sitting bones are pressing down into the floor, take your awareness deep within the pelvis. If you're able to do that, finding the perineum and connecting in with Mula Bandha. Maybe take your awareness over to the left-hand side of the pelvic bowl, and then sweep it across to the right-hand side of the pelvic bowl, and then come into center. And we've got our palms facing downwards on our knees. We're going to make this a grounding practice. We're in the throes of autumn, transitioning into winter. So taking our lead from nature, notice how the leaves are drawn to the earth, ready to create the manure and the nourishment that's needed for spring to happen, the other side of winter. That's where we are now. So even as you sit here now breathing, perhaps you can imagine that the floor is coming up to meet you. It's slightly holding you, slightly cradling you. And feel into your breath with some awareness. Start to allow it to lengthen. So at the natural count that comes to you, the inhale, about 6, and the exhale, about 6. But you can just change the length of your count accordingly. You have your own rhythm and your own count, so you can find that. As the breath lengthens and deepens, you might inquire for yourself, why is it you're here on your mat today? If there's an agenda, what is that agenda? What were you hoping to get out of this practice? Being super present with that desire, whatever it may be. And we really don't need to judge whether it's good or bad. We're just curious. Whatever that agenda is, let yourself be present to it. Acknowledge it. And decide to bring that to your practice. Continue holding the knees. We're just going to start to move the heart forwards and back. So as you exhale, the heart drops back. Arms straighten, chin moves to chest. And then as you inhale, elbows tuck in towards you. Face lifts as if to the sun. Heart moves forwards. Exhaling as you gently rock back. So you can take any yoga sequence and practice it an infinite amount of different ways. Really, the sequence itself is just the page opener. And then the quality that you bring to each pose, the quality of your breath, the amount of presence you're able to harness with your mind will take you through an individual journey unique to you. When we practice yoga, we're really cultivating the ability to steer that journey to be its most positive, most true, most loving version of anything. It doesn't just apply to your practice. Lifting up to the highest version of yourself. Coming up to center, starting to circle your heart. Slow circles, feeling every nuance as you move. Inhaling as you come forwards, exhaling as you go back. Always interesting to find the little pockets of jaggediness. Allowing the breath to smoothen those jaggedy bits over. Change directions. Stirring up the internal environment like a wooden spoon stirring the broth. Okay, and then coming back up to center, and we're just going to tilt the pelvis with the breath. So before we were moving the heart forwards and back, this time we're dropping down into the pelvis. As you inhale, the pubic bone moves forwards, and again, the elbows come in tighter towards you. And as you exhale, the tailbone drops back. So the point of movement originates in the pelvis rather than the heart. Rocking to acknowledge Shakti energy within the pelvis, Mula Bandha, the root chakra, and Svadhisthana. And then coming up to center. Let's take right hand across to left knee and reach the left arm up high. And as you exhale, turn to face the side and place that left hand behind you. So you can move like a jellyfish or like an octopus. I don't know if you've seen that film yet, the documentary, my octopus teacher. Oh my goodness, if you haven't, you must. It is so beautiful. And we've got much to learn from the octopuses. Coming back to center, bringing your hands to your knees. Left hand moves to right knee, right hand comes up high, and exhale to twist and face the side or behind you. Moving through the spine, feeling fluid. And inhaling as you come back to center. Right hand can drop down, left hand sweeps up. Let's come into a nice side stretch. As you press down through the bottom hand, the right hand, see if you can lift the ribcage higher and see if you can stabilize the pelvis by pressing down through the left sitting bone. How does your breath feel here? And then sweep that hand forwards. Let's make a semicircle as you walk your hands around to the other side. And bring the right arm overhead. And again, pressing down through the left hand to lift the rib cage, stabilizing the pelvis by pressing the right sitting bone down. Inhale as you come back up to center. Let's come onto all fours. Walk the hands just a little bit further forward. As you inhale, let the spine dip towards the floor, turn the tailbone up, look ahead of you. As you exhale, sit back on your heels, stretch your arms out in front of you. Inhale, coming up onto all fours, a little bit of cat. Exhaling back to prayer. Inhaling up to cat. And exhaling back to prayer. Inhaling. As you come up, this time keep the hips rolling forwards, soften the elbows, and take a little version of cobra. Wriggle the heart up, away, and forwards from the pelvis. And then exhale, press through the hands and come back onto your heels. If that feels too strong already, then keep going to cat instead. Moving with the breath. One more time. Waking up the body slowly, exhaling back. Sitting back on the heels, let's walk our hands over to the right. You can even lay the right arm down along the side of your body as you push the left sitting bone away, forehead to the floor. Press the palm of the left hand into the floor to really anchor yourself in that stretch. Inhale, walk your hands back to center. Pause for a moment in center, and then walk your hands over to the left. Maybe the left hand is going to come alongside your body. Forehead to the floor as you press away through the right sitting bone. Walk both hands back to center. Come up onto all fours. Tuck all 10 toes under. Let's take fire toes to wake our feet up. So sitting back on your heels, hands at your heart center. Curious as to how your feet feel today. There's usually quite a broad scope of variability in the fire toes pose. And then bringing your hands back down to the floor. Press the heels away, let the hips rise and come into a down dog. And just pedal through the legs. One heel down, other heel down. Lift the hips up high, let the heels rise, pull the tummy in towards the spine. We're going to sweep the right leg up high behind. And then as you exhale, tuck the knee in and we're going to come through to pigeon to just warm our hips up. And coming onto your fingertips, wriggle your heart a little higher, walk that back foot further away. Remind yourself why you came to your mat today and bring that to the practice as you exhale and walk your hands forwards. Making it your favourite version of pigeon. back up onto your hands. Tuck the toes under of the back foot, press through the hands, come into a low, or a high plank rather. Hold high plank as you draw your tummy in, waking up the core of your body. And then let the hips rise as you return to down dog, chin to chest, pedaling through your legs. Hips are buoyant, pelvis is buoyant. And left leg rises up behind you. Exhale, sweeping that knee forwards, coming into pigeon on the other side. Flatten the hands, walk your hands forwards and fold into your favourite version. Inhale as you come back, tuck the toes under, press that heel away, return to a high plank. Let's wake our core up. If your shoulders are, or your neck feels sensitive and you don't want to do the side plank, then just stay here in plank. You can always drop your knees if you're getting tired. Otherwise, you're going to bring your right hand to the center of the mat. Drop the heels to the right. Reach the left arm up high. Lift up through the heart, lift up through the hips. And let's sweep that top arm up and overhead. Palm faces the floor. Be sure to be lifting up through that lower shoulder so you're not accidentally collapsing down. Sweep the left hand up again. Bring your hands to the floor. Let's take a little down dog. Ease any pressure that may have built. Take a little wriggle. And then return to a high plank. Left hand comes to the center, heels drop to the left, hips rise, heart rises, right arm lifts up. Possibly taking the arm alongside the ear, palm faces the floor. Sweeping the right arm up high, bring both hands down to the floor. Drop the knees, sit back on the heels, stretch the arms out in front of you. Inhale, returning to a high plank. Exhaling, turning to a down dog. So now we're in our bodies. Our breath is flowing and deep. Mula Bandha is engaged. And we're ready to begin the vinyasa. Inhale as you look forwards. Slowly walk your feet towards your hands. Lift the heart, and as you exhale, come into a deep forward bend. Let's wrap our arms around our legs and give ourselves a hug. Chin to chest. Soften the knees. Inhale as you come all the way up, reaching your arms up high, overhead. Exhale, bring your hands down through the midline in prayer to your heart. Let's do 3 of A. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 5 breaths. Inhale 1. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. Inhale, 3. Exhale, wriggle as much as you need. Inhale, 4. Exhale. Inhale, 5. Exhale. Lift the gaze, step the feet forwards, inhaling. Exhaling, forward bend. Inhaling to rise. Exhaling through the midline. Second round, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 5 breaths. Make it just as experimental as you need to. Remind yourself of why you're here. Bring that into the posture and the breath. When you're ready, lift the gaze, step the feet forwards, inhaling. Deep exhale. Inhale to rise. Exhale through the midline. Third round, inhale. Exhale, finding the dance, finding the flow. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Keep that flow of breath and movement even here. Pulsing, wriggling, shifting the weight back into the heels so we're not tumbling into our hands, ears lining up with arms. Hips remain buoyant and elevated, like they're being pulled up towards the ceiling. And heels are earthing you as they draw down towards the ground. When you're ready, inhaling to step forwards. Exhaling, forward bend. Inhaling to rise. Exhaling through the midline. We're going to do stances now. So soften the knees, let your fingers brush against the floor. Inhale as you come up into seated chair pose. Exhale, forward bend. Half lift, inhale. Exhale as you step back. Traveling towards the earth. Inhale. Exhale. Left foot turns out, right foot steps forward. Inhale as you rise, Virabhadrasana A. And exhale as you widen, Virabhadrasana B. Inhale, reverse. And as you exhale into side angle, we're going to take a little bit of time here. So let's just begin with the left hand lifting up high. Notice this hand, this bottom hand, it's ever so easy for it to accidentally get tense. So just shake it off and check there's no tension going on there. Drop the hips a little lower if you can. And then take a gaze up towards your left hand. And we're going to use that hand to trace an enormous circle. So inhale. And as you exhale, the hand's going to come over the ear. You're going to look at your hand as it goes as far forward as you can get it to go. You're still anchoring through the back foot. Hand comes down, sweeps all the way back towards that back foot, and comes up and over. Big circles. If you like, close your eyes so you're more curious about how this feels, where you feel it. Where's stretching? Where's working to support you? And all the time the breath is fluid and smooth and deep. Well done. And then returning all the way up. Keep that front knee bent as you inhale back to Virabhadrasana B. Take your awareness down to your feet, both feet connecting with the earth. So if you were to draw a triangle on the sole of your foot, it would go from the heel and then out to the ball of the little toe, the ball of the big toe. All three of those points press down. Your toes almost scoop the floor so that there's a lift up through the inner arch. It really changes what's happening in the pelvis. Exhale as you windmill your hands down. And we'll step back and take a vinyasa. Exhaling all the way back into down dog. Right foot turns. Left foot steps forward. Inhale, Virabhadrasana A. Exhale, Virabhadrasana B. Drop the back hand, sweep the left arm up and over. Keep that front knee bent, sometimes it wants to straighten there. And then as we come into side angle, take a moment, the right hand stays up high. Shake out that bottom hand, be sure there's not accidental tension. Drop the hips a little bit lower if you can, without sacrificing the sole of the foot connection to the floor. Turn your gaze up to your fingertips, and then as you exhale, great big ginormous circle, hand coming down, and sweeping back and up. Close your eyes if you wish. Pausing as the hand comes up high, returning to Virabhadrasana B, and then windmilling the hands as you step back and lower yourself down. Exhaling down dog, 5 breaths. When you're ready, travelling forwards on the inhale, exhaling into a forward bend. Inhaling as you rise, exhaling seated chair. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, stepping back. Inhale, rolling up. Exhale, stepping back. Left foot turns, right foot steps forward. Inhale as you come up into Virabhadrasana A. Let the hips drop low. And let's move from A into C. Inhale, take the weight into that front foot. Lift the back heel, squaring the foot, and reach the arms out either side of your ears. Palms face one another, both hips parallel to the floor. Soften the supporting leg as you drop back into Virabhadrasana A. Open the arms wide. Reverse as you inhale. As you exhale, side angle. This time let's take the right hand down to the floor, hips really low to the ground, but without letting that back foot curl up, the little toe stays connected. Of course you can take that option if it feels better. Inhale, reach the left arm up, big circles. As you exhale, sweeping down and back. Well done. As you inhale, bring the left arm straight up. Keep that front knee bent, return to Virabhadrasana B. Straighten the front leg, take a reverse triangle, and as you exhale, come into classical triangle, Trikonasana. You might want to adjust your feet if you're slipping into the splits. This top shoulder often just wants to collapse down. So try to imagine the buoyancy is coming from this top shoulder. As if it's got like a buoy attached to it on the ocean and it's really pulling up. Inhale, reverse. And as you exhale, you're going to let this back heel lift up and swivel to face the front of the mat. Inhale, both arms come up. As you exhale, take your arms back behind you. Take your arms down towards the floor. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Bend the front knee and just play with softening that back knee. Think of the triangle of the support that comes through that front foot. And as you inhale, you're going to open your arms out back. Behind you, lift your gaze. And then as you exhale, you're going to lean forwards, crossing your wrists, not your ankles, in front of you. Inhale as you come back, lift the gaze. Exhale as you cross wrists, chin to chest. Moving between those 2 points with your breath. On the exhale, you might want to pull the tummy in towards the spine even more. Inhale, windmill the hands back into Virabhadrasana B. Square the feet, legs straighten. As you bring your hands to your waist, roll the shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, come forwards into a wide-legged forward bend. Soften the knees. Inhale as you come back up. Reach your arms out to the side, palms facing forwards. As you exhale, turn the palms to face back. Inhale, palms face forwards. Exhale, palms face back. Feeling the rotation in the shoulders. On the next exhale, bring your hands together behind your back. Press the palms away. Lift up through the heart. And as you exhale, come forwards, arms overhead, chin to chest. Let the hands rise as your tummy pulls in towards your spine and you lift all the way up. Turn the right foot to point towards the end of the mat. Return again to Virabhadrasana B. And windmill your hands down. Returning to the flow. And And now the right foot turns out, the left foot steps forward. Inhale, Virabhadrasana A. Play with the position of your hips. Play with the heels dropping, the back heel staying grounded, the little toe edge staying grounded behind you. And then when you're ready, shift the weight into that front foot. Make your way into Virabhadrasana C. Back foot squares, arms come alongside ears, palms face one another. Be sure that the right hip is gravitating towards the earth rather than sweeping up to the sky. Gently dropping that back foot down, returning to Virabhadrasana A. Sweeping the arms wide for Virabhadrasana B. Drop the back hand, sweep the front arm up as you inhale. And as you exhale, lean forwards, dropping the left hand down on the inside of that front foot, reaching the right arm up. And sweep those circles with your breath, exhaling as the hands come down towards the floor, and inhaling as it sweeps up. Returning that hand up high and travelling back into Virabhadrasana B. Straighten the front leg. Take a reverse triangle as the left hand rises. And then as you exhale, lean towards the front of the mat, coming into Trikonasana. Again, exploring this buoyancy in the top shoulder. Feel into the soles of the feet. Where is the connection? How are you grounding through this posture? Inhale, reverse. Exhale, Virabhadrasana B. Pivot the back foot as you sweep both arms up either side of your ears, coming into a lunge. Exhale, bring your hands down to your side, let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Play with softening that front knee and back leg. Inhale, opening the arms back as you look up. Exhale as you lean forwards, crossing at the wrist. Like some majestic bird, maybe a swan, maybe an eagle. And next time you're ready, let's windmill the hands back, taking yourself back into Virabhadrasana B. Bring your hands to your waist, square the feet. I'm going to turn around, so I've really got my back to you. Square your feet, soften the knees. Inhale as you reach your hands up high, and as you exhale, come into a forward bend. Let's let the toes drift out to the sides and drop the hips by bending the knees. And we're going to walk hands over to the right foot, bending the right knee, and then we're going to walk hands over to the left foot, bending the left knee, but all the while trying to keep the hips as low as we can. So it's very crab-like, side-to-side movement. Coming back to centre, bring the toes back in so the feet are parallel again once more. Come to your fingertips, inhale as you look forwards, and as you exhale, walk your hands back between your legs, away from you, chin to chest. And think about the soles of the feet, that triangle of connection to the earth, Mula Bandha. And then walk your hands back in. Soften the knees. Take your hands to your waist. Inhale as you slowly come back up and step to the front of your mat. Walk the feet out to the edges of the mat, toes off the side, heels just resting on the inside of the mat. Inhale as you reach your arms up. We're coming through Malasana. So you're going to bring your hands down in prayer, down through the midline of your body as you bend your knees and let your hips draw towards the earth. Possibly the most grounding pose of all. How deep is your breath? So for some people this pose, the heels come up off the floor. If that's you, then that's completely fine. Just feel into the hips. If your feet are flat and you feel really comfortable, have a little bounce around here. You can walk your hands forwards, sweep the right hand over to the right and reach the left hand up high. And then roll that arm back behind you, and you might even be able to thread your hands together behind your back into a bind. Be sure that you're still breathing. It's a good place for a tumble. Inhale, release as you open the arms out wide in either direction. And then come back to center. If you want, return your hands to prayer. Take a little rest as you re-center yourself. Then arms come forwards, left hand moves over to the left, right hand rises. And it's not always the same from side to side, so just explore, threading your hands around behind your back, maybe taking hold. Close the eyes, notice where you're feeling it. And then release, open the arms wide. And bring your hands back to center. And then slowly make your way back down to the floor. And take your legs straight out in front of you. Inhale as you reach your hands up high. And as you exhale, fold forwards, walking your hands either side of your legs. Your toes are pointing straight up, and let's take our hands around the outer edges of the feet, drawing the little toe edge back towards us. Inhale as you look forwards, exhale, forward bend. Inhale, reach your arms up high, sitting up nice and tall. Take your hands behind your back, fingers pointing towards sitting bones. Point your toes, press into the hands, lift the heart, and if you wish, you can also lift your hips, toes moving towards the floor. Heart lifting. Be sure not to let the feet drop out to the sides, that's really common. You want to be sucking your legs towards one another. And the toes are heading towards the floor. Exhale as you come back down. Settle yourself back for another forward bend. Inhale, reach your arms up high. And as you exhale, you're going to come forward and see if you can catch hold of your big toes, your two middle fingers and your thumb. Inhale as you look up. Exhale, open the elbows out to the side, come into a forward bend. Inhale as you come back up to sitting. Let's bend our knees. Take your hands around the outer edges of your feet. And then kind of rock back onto your sitting bones. And you've got hold of your feet. So that might be enough. You might just want to play with that there. Or you might want to experiment with straightening the legs here. So it's like you're doing a pike. Soften the knees. Take the soles of the feet together. Hold on to the toes. Hopefully you can see a bit better like that. And drop the knees out to the side. Inhale as you lift your heart. And exhale as you lean forwards, chin to chest, coming into a forward bend. How is your breath feeling here? Can you let it catch up with itself? Inhale as you sit up. We're going to take the left leg and straighten it. And the sole of the right foot is on the inner thigh. Well done. Left foot is strong. Inhale as you reach your arms up. Exhale, come into a forward bend. Inhale as you come back up. Bring that knee up to center. Place the knees together, folding the foot back so it points directly behind you. Squaring these toes up high. Inhale as you reach your arms up. And exhale as you come forwards. Take whatever wriggle you need, take whatever breath you need. Usually the exhale is super helpful on a forward bend. Inhale as you come back up, reach your fingers up high. And exhale, hands to the floor. And you're going to release your legs, take the legs straight out in front of you, give them a shake. And let's make a little diamond with our legs. So soles of feet together, but this time they're about half a metre away from your hips. You're making a diamond shape with your legs. Hold on to your knees. Inhale as you sit up. Exhale, slide your hands down towards your toes and drop your chin to your chest. Inhale as you come back up. you're going to slide the right leg away, place the left foot on the inner thigh, engage through the right toes. Inhale, the arms come up high, and exhale, coming forwards into a forward bend. What can you do to wriggle into any little pockets that feel a bit closed? How can you make some space there? What would your breath have you do to help it lengthen and deepen here? Inhale as you come back up. You're going to bring the left knee up, bring it in towards the right knee, and just point the toes of the left foot to point away from you. Try to avoid the squaring of this ankle because it puts a lot of pressure on the knee. So if possible, the toes are just a continuation of the shin bone. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Exhale, coming forwards. Again, it's not unusual for it to be very different from one side to the other. Inhale as you come back up, reaching your arms up high and releasing that foot. And let's lie down on our backs. And lay down and hug your knees into your chest. I'm just going to do something to the screen because I've got all sorts of notifications coming up which is stopping me from seeing you. Okay, you're lying on your back. Take a happy baby if you wish, or alternatively just hold onto your knees and do some circles. And then drop the feet to the floor, lay the arms down at your side. We're coming into supported bridge. Fingers brushing against the backs of the heels. Again, find the triangle within the feet. Ball of big toe, ball of little toe, heel, and press all 3 points down into the floor. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, press the knees away, let the hips rise. And you might want to walk your arms towards one another and interlink your fingers, if that feels good. Chest moving up towards chin. And the knees are as if they're being pulled towards the front of the mat, so that you're less inclined to tumble down into your throat, and instead it's like you're being elongated because the knees are pulling you away from your throat. Release the hands, make some space between the shoulders. Gently lower yourself down to the floor. And you can repeat that, or you can take your hands either side of your ears. Again, find the pyramid within the foot, all 3 corners pressing to the floor, the instep lifting. Keep the elbows stacked directly above the wrists. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, you push down through your foundation, maybe coming just to the crown of your head, or maybe straightening arms and legs. Whichever version makes you smile, and that you can continue to breathe in. And when you're ready, and not a moment before, you can come down. hug your knees into your chest again. Well done. Open your arms wide to the side. Let's drop knees to the right and turn gaze to the left as you take some soothing exhales here. Inhale, knees come back up to center. And exhale, knees to the left, gaze to the right. Inhaling as you come back to center. Bring your arms to your sides. And we're going to come into an inversion. So this depends on how you're feeling, how your neck is feeling, and also whether you have your period or not, because you don't want to do any inversions when you're menstruating. So as long as you're not, bring your arms either side of your body and bring your knees in towards your chest. Palms can face the floor. We're just going to use the strength of your hands as you pull your tummy button in towards your spine and bring your legs overhead. You can bend your elbows and place your palms flat on the small of your back, fingers pointing upwards. Plow. Maybe you walk your shoulders a little closer, maybe your elbows can work their way towards one another. Again, you want to be able to breathe, so if you're suffocating yourself by collapsing into your chest, then maybe come down. And then you have options here. You can bend your knees and hug your ears with your knees. You can straighten your legs, and keeping your feet together and your legs straight, come up into a shoulder stand. Again, you want to be sure that you can still breathe here. Imagine you have an orange under your chin, making a little bit of space for your neck. And when you feel you've done enough there, bring both legs down to the floor together. And you can use your hands as a handbrake to roll yourself slowly. Knees can soften as you roll your way back down towards the floor. And then once you're lying flat on the floor, slide your hands beneath you, ready for Matsyasana, fish pose. Extending your legs, pointing your toes. And with your arms tucked beneath you and your palms pressing into the floor, you can bend the elbows and shoot the chest up high and let the head hang, crown of head towards the floor. Breathing into your heart, your collar, your chest. Exhaling as you release, come back down to the floor, and we'll take 5 minutes for Shavasana. So straightening the legs, having the feet apart and dropping the toes outwards, and then laying the arms slightly away from your body with your palms facing upwards, walking shoulder blades down so your neck feels really long. Tucking the chin towards your chest, just a little. And allowing each exhale to be a surrender into the earth. Feeling the breath as it moves inwards and outwards through the nostrils. Softening the corners of a smile, the corners of your eyes. So we offer a moment of thanks for whatever it is that we're thankful for right now. Casting our mind back to the agenda, the intention. Why did we come to our mat today? And anchoring in whatever that intention is to the cells of your body. Wriggling fingers and toes, stretching out, and in your own way, with your own style, rolling to your side and making your way back up to sitting. What a joy it's been to do yoga with you today. Thank you so much for coming. Have a glorious, glorious day, you beautiful people. Namaste.